South Korea's indigenous KF-21 Boramae took to the skies for the first time on July 19th. And while many do not know, the event has marked another step in the East Asian nations' ambitions to create its own armaments industry. Now, how is this development significant, and what does the new jet have in store for the world? Let's explore the KF-21 Boramae. According to the manufacturer, Korea Aerospace Industries, the prototype took off from Sesan Air Base, which is located west of the city of Busan, in the south of the country. Major An Jun-yeon, who is part of the Test and Evaluation Unit of the Republic of Korea Air Force, was in control of the aircraft. During the initial flight, which lasted just over 30 minutes, the officials checked the basic functions of the aircraft at speeds of up to 400 kilometers per hour and saw the aircraft take to the air with 4 MBDA Meteor air-to-air missile mock-ups on its semi-recessed belly missile bays, with a second KF-21 in November 2022 and a third one in January 2023 taking to the skies. The aircraft successfully completed its supersonic flight, then flew also the fourth prototype. However, the organization has stated that it intends to begin test flights for 2 further prototypes during the first half of the year as part of a larger goal to complete around 2,000 test flights in total by February 2026. The KF-21 is a collaborative project between South Korea and Indonesia, with Seoul owning 80% of the company. And while just 65% of the KF-21's parts are South Korean, the aircraft's maiden flight is a notable accomplishment for a country with a short history of aircraft production. Only the United States, Russia, China, Japan, France, Sweden, and a European consortium, including the United Kingdom, Germany, Italy, and Spain, have built and flown modern supersonic jet fighters. But despite this, the collaboration has been beset with problems throughout its existence, and many people have questioned both its raison d'etre and its viability. However, the successful development of the T-50 and subsequent FA-50 combat variant has helped prove that Korean aerospace industry, or the KIA, is fairly capable of developing a supersonic jet. The story of the KF-21 starts all the way back in the early 2000s. While North and South Korea were on the verge of war, the Korean government realized yesterday that it really needs a new jet. So, it continued with the development of the KF-X program and made the decision to acquire some real weaponry in preparation for a confrontation that had been brewing for half a century. Launched in 2015, the $6.8 billion KF-21 program was intended to provide a replacement for the Republic of Korea Air Force's F-4E Phantom II and F-5EF Tiger II fleets, and also for service with Indonesia. The program's primary objective is to develop a replacement for these fleets, which will also be suitable for use by Indonesia, which is a 20% partner in the project. The production run is estimated to consist of 160 aircraft. It is anticipated the serial production will begin in the year 2026, to have 40 aircraft in service by the year 2028, with successive aircraft being produced at a rate of 20 per year thereafter. For this brand new Korean jet, the C-103, the C-203, and the C-501, which was the version with the fewest number of moving parts and only a single engine at the back, were proposed. However, because single-engine jets were unable to satisfy the conditions established by the government, the C-103 design family was selected as the winning contender. Over several decades, the selected family underwent various stages of development. The final product, the C-109, a jet whose uncanny resemblance of the F-22, earned it the nickname the Korean Raptor. History aside, now let's take a look at what the KF-21 is really made of. Essentially, the jet is driven by 2 GEF-414 engines, a further evolution of the engines that were used for the Super Hornet. Similarly, because of the partnership between KAI and Lockheed, the design of the plane is extremely comparable to that of the F-22 and the F-35. While Lockheed transferred a lot of technologies for the KF-21, there were some key components that the Koreans were pushed to develop on their own, such as radar IRST, target pods, and RF jammers. At this point, however, the project begins to diverge significantly from the conceptual framework of the F-22 and F-35 aircraft. The peculiar thing about the KF-21 is that it does not have an internal weapons bay, which raises some issues regarding whether or not it is truly as stealthy as it claims to be. The ornament can be found perched atop a tally of 10 hardpoints, with 3 on each wing and 4 below the belly. Because the KF-21 stealth performance is debatable and most certainly does not place it in the same category as other 5th-generation planes, It is more than likely that this aircraft is a 4++ gen aircraft compared to the Eurofighter, but with a lower cross-section of the radar. Nevertheless, this is not the main problem at all because, from the very beginning, the Koreans intended to go for this and dubbed it a 4.5 generation aircraft, and this is mainly. After all, Indonesia is not only a participant in this project, but also has plans to purchase at least 50 of these planes, as an alternative to making purchases from Russia. But Indonesia is not the only country looking for alternatives. With the war in Ukraine, many nations are moving toward the West for weaponry. At this desperate time, with a price tag that is most likely lower than its competitors in the United States or Europe, the KF-21 might well be the ideal offering for the market. The KF-21 may turn out to be the perfect jet for several countries who are wanting to upgrade their fleets of aged aircraft from the Cold War era. The Block 1 jet will have a limited capacity for air-to-ground combat, as the primary focus will be on air-to-air combat. The second run, Block 2, however, will feature a complete multi-role jet, along with a future evolution that is a little stealthier. The KF-21 is also intended to have a huge variety of weaponry accessible, including both European and American varieties, which presents a bit of a political conundrum. The idea that the clients should have the choice to go with their desired weaponry is alright in itself, but if you look at it in another way, it would result in more competition among the countries, and ultimately fewer sales for the United States of America. Although Lockheed was involved in the production of the jet in some capacity, the company has now severed all ties with fellow American weapons suppliers. How would the new jet fare? Tell us in the comments below. This brings us to the end of this video. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and sharing so we can keep bringing more content like this. See you next time.